changed his look completely. Anyway, as for the review, I love this doll. I'll keep him sat down because he won't fit on screen. He's brilliant. He's got the cap as opposed to the faceplate, like Luria. His name is, where is it? Okay, he's got JW written just inside his head cap, his head on the bottom. It's got Withdoll just inside the face cap, and I could have sworn on the second head it must be. This is the open eye head as opposed to the half eye close. Ah, there it is. Jewel inside the head cap is written on the side, the full word. Is that this one as well? Probably is. Yes, it is. My bad. Okay. Joint wise, he's got these fabulous joints. The elbow joints are just my favourite thing. I was pointing to them in one of my pictures on Flickr. If you look at his elbow, the actual sculpt, you can sort of follow his natural arm line down and it goes into the natural point of the arm and back up again. I think that's incredible. The peanut, it's like a double peanut in there. I'm only coining a phrase that somebody else has coined, I don't know, joint peanut, whatever. So that it disguises the string. You can't see the string inside those joints, no matter what you do with them. You've really got to pull hard to get a bit of string action. He is strung very tight. Yes, it's true. A lot of people have been saying how tightly he's strung, but I don't have a problem with that because, you know, I thought, well, they've done it for a reason. There must be a reason they've done this. What could it be? And gradually, as I've been playing with him, his joints have become easier and easier to move. I mean, there was no movement in the foot joint, hardly at all. I was so scared to touch anything or turn anything. But now it's not too bad. I mean, you know, he can do that owie thing with his foot like she was doing yesterday. There's loads of movement in his legs as well. It gets a bit stiff up at the torso end. You really need some strength to get any lift up there. And then when it comes to his head, I mean, I can hardly move that. There's no hope of me getting the S-hook tanned until he's loosened up a little bit more. What I have noticed though, every time I've opened up a joint, is loads of little shavings of resin come out where he's naturally wearing. But that's the process, isn't it? He's got to break himself in without breaking, so to speak. Another issue that I've seen on forums and on their website and stuff is turning up with the back of the knee split or cracked or chipped or what have you. And my theory for this is their fantastic knee joint, which I think is brilliant. And I was careful to look at this before I moved him when I got him out of the box because I'd seen that it was a bit of an issue. There's actually a little lip. So you pull it down first before tucking it in, and if you look in there, I don't know if you can see that, there are those little steps for locking positions. So he'll do one, oh very nice, oh ballerina pose, and then there's another one, and so on and so forth, and it will lock in those various positions. There you go, you can hear it going, which is great. I like that. Not bad at all. Hands are magnetic. Like, I'll sit him down again. I'm not very good at this, am I? Hands are magnetic. A lot of people also couldn't move the ball joint in the wrist without the hand coming off, but I have found that with a little pressure and a little practice, they have started moving. There's not the range of movement you'll get with a single jointed hand or the, you know, the S-hooked double jointed hands, but it's getting there. It's coming. I'm you know, I don't want to do anything rash just yet. I'm still going to give him time. Love his shoulders. He's got that masculine shoulder cap thing going on. I think it improves the male form having those. It widens the shoulders, whereas girls have those nice little delicate slopey shoulders. They don't need the big caps for those. Yes, his legs go every which way you could possibly imagine. I'm not sure why the hip joint needs to as well though. That's my thing. I thought that if it doesn't go back, I mean that's obvious, that's the laws of nature, you know. You've really got to work out plenty to get your leg kicking back behind your head. But it comes forward pretty well, but you know, I don't understand why the hip joint needs to pivot as well as the actual leg joint. Whether I'm missing something, whether it's to do with being tightly strung, whether that's a good thing, I couldn't tell you. But I don't mind it. Again, they're nice. The strings are nicely hidden. They're very subtle. These channels that I've called them. I don't know whether that's the right word or not. But they have a maximum upwards movement if I put them sideways slightly. So as far as I can make it, that's as far forward as he sits. There is no, as of yet, movement in his hip cup, because that's all it is. There's no little steps, there's nothing to say that, you know, physically there's not really a lot of movement there. He'll bend backwards slightly. I can't really. There you go. That's it. Really. There's no forward, just that little bit of backwards. And then when it comes to the top torso, there is movement, but there's hardly any staying movement. There's a little bit to the left, that's my left. There's a little bit to the right, and there's not much else. And I have had a good look in here now. Oh, excuse me, I've got to try and use my strength. If I do that, there is a little lip there. There's also, I'm losing strength because I've done this already, but I deleted the video because it was too long. There's one on the back as well, and underneath, I don't know if you can see that, there's something else. There's like a pyramid shaped thing going up into his neck. I don't know whether that's part of the torso or whether that's just a sculpt or what, but neither the inside bit or his torso hit those lips. So there's no locking or movement that will stay yet, I keep saying yet, that I can figure out. Like I said, I'm going to Withdoll at the weekend, so hopefully in their maintenance workshop we might be able to come to some sort of conclusion together if it gets that far. But otherwise it'll come, you know. I'll get the confidence to unstring him at some point. It's just too hard at the moment and I know I'm going to lose it. And the reason why I say that is his armour boots. There's the string for there, and then there's another ball joint. The feet actually have, I don't know if you can see that, their own hooks. And the reason for that is, with his armour, you don't put booted armour on him, he has armoured feet. So they supply you with another ankle joint with the magnets, and there's the boot. So you swap the feet out completely. But as of yet, I haven't had the strength to be able to keep the foot open, thread it so that I can pull it, keep it out of the leg, and put the boots back on. Like I say, with a bit of play, they're coming along anyway. I mean, they're moving a lot more than they did on Monday. I've only had them a week, so after a bit more, I'll have the confidence to do it, and the elastic would have got some give in it. As for the armour, they were his boots. These are his leg greaves. I mean, look at that. They're fantastic. Such cool armour. They're in two halves. So you get the front bit with the straps, and then the back half that goes, and then you just strap it on with a little popper. Dead easy, really effective, and you wouldn't know. Look at him. It comes with two swords like this. I don't know if you can see that amazing bird head there. And both of those swords then go into the the bow handle, like, no, other way, that way. It's really hard to fit the whole thing in, that way, and the wings have come off of this, and that way, and the bow ends up actually longer than him. And there's two little tiny, you can see here, little tiny hooks that you can put string in, so you can string the bow. I did write them a letter because I wanted to find out if it was safe to use superglue on resin, because I've never actually come across that question before. I'm assuming it is, because this was my fault. I sort of gave the sword a bit of a dink by accident, and this came off, but I saw evidence of glue and I didn't know whether it was super glue or what, so obviously I can fix that myself, that's not a problem if I can use super glue. So I sent them a letter, because when he arrived he didn't have eyeballs, and I said, I've got no eyes, can you send me some? And also, is it safe to use super glue? Because when I got his crown, the horns that go on the crown, even though they were sort of in place in the packaging, they'd actually come away from the actual helm. And I said, I just want to know if it's alright to glue them back on. And they said, no problem, we'll send you 2 new pairs of eyeballs and a new crown. So, I've got a spare crown now, so I'm going to try and super glue these later anyway, and make sure there's not a reaction. If there's not a reaction, then obviously I'm going to have 2 crowns. So one could be up for grabs if somebody got a jewel without armour, but needs, you know, would like a crown. And this is good as well. I mean, the design of these things is brilliant. You get sort of 2/3 of the crown, and then you get the extra bit, because obviously getting it on his head is tricky without snapping anything. So you put sort of the bulk of it on first, and then magnetised as well. He has got magnets in his head, so it's, you know, that's how it will stay on. But again, with the bird theme, like a phoenix. So that's that. Second head. Oh, we've done second head. He also comes with what they call a bow hand. Now, I'm not sure that he already had this on, to be fair, because I would call... That's easy if I just show the hands. I would call that a bow hand, ready with like a plucking finger kind of thing. But this was the one that wasn't on him. So I'm thinking maybe this is like the hand that holds the bow as opposed to pluck it, because both his other hands are pluckers. Oh dear, that sounds like it's going to get very rude. Okay, so that's that. Clothing. He's got his lovely, this fabric is amazing. This goes over his trousers around his waist and gives him that sort of superhero look. This is his waistcoat with nice 70s wing colours. Yeah, pimp daddy. These are his sexy trousers with a kinky little gap that shows a bit of flesh, which is nice. Great material as well, sort of, you know, mock croc, snake skin, croc skin, I reckon he wrestled a few crocs. Lovely, lovely over mantle thing, with a little studded effect at the back. Got the compulsory arm greaves that make him look sexy. Go down sort of over the finger, half glove over the finger effect things. Nice belt. If you've got a jewel and you can't figure this belt out, like I couldn't at the start because I was a bit dim, hence my name, dim-wit, Withdoll Juwel, dim-wit. Put it over his head and those bits go over each thigh afterwards. That's quite handy. He wouldn't be jewel, or a jewel, not that I'm going to keep the name jewel, without his jewel. That's his lovely little necklace, makes him medallion man when it's on. I'll probably end up giving that to a girl, I'll probably end up giving that to my Lyria, whatever she ends up being called. That's it. That's all his bits. I think I covered everything that I wanted to say about him. Oh, and he stands, you know, as if he was born to stand, really. There's not a lot that he won't do as regards being rock steady. Maybe I should call him Eddie, rock steady Eddie. He stands, his face is off camera, but sitting is the issue though, like I say. It's almost as if the channels don't quite go far enough, and because he'll stay there, but it's not a very natural position. It's like he needs his hands to be behind him, but because he's so tightly strung, you can't really, you know, put them in that kind of position. But further back, if you know what I mean. It's easier on his stumps. There we go, now it's comfy. Comfy but in pain. Right, anyway, that's it from me and my jewel. I'm going to get him dressed completely if I can. I don't know about removing the feet, that's going to be really tricky. I'm not sure my muscles can hack it. But thanks for watching. Leave comments, ask questions, or please give me advice, anything that I've brought up that you know the answer to. I would be most grateful. I love learning, and this is all a big learning curve for me. So yeah, cool. Thank you very much. See you later.